Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Netherwar, episode 10, Overdue. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of superhero shenanigans. My name is Alex, and I will be your humble game master for this series. Tonight, we will be playing Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG, which is produced by Green Ronin Publishing. It is a D20 system that focuses on exciting superhero action. The character creation system offers unlimited customization options to create your superhero. One thing I also really enjoy is the use of hero points to encourage players to push their characters beyond their limits. These points can be used for rerolls, player scene editing, and even modifying or improving a character's powers in a pinch. Hero points are earned by leaning into genre tropes, acting heroically, good role-playing, jokes I think are funny, and suffering setbacks just like superheroes in other media. They're also earned by you all following or subscribing. So if you want to give us a follow or a subscription, you have one free hero point to give to the hero of your choice or the game master of your choice, whatever makes you happy.
Like there's more than one game master at this table?
Everyone is a game master at this table.
There's at least 4 of us, yes.
False.
We have gathered some amazing heroes tonight. Say Excelsior heroes.
Excelsior
heroes.
I want to give everyone a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves, the character they will be playing, where else we could find them, and have them answer my question of the day. The question of the day is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? Starting with Kevin.
Man, that's like the dream question, isn't it? Okay, so I am here for Mutants and Masterminds shenanigans on Mondays. I've occasionally been on some other shows, but this is kind of my mainstay thing. When I'm not here, I'm playing with local groups or teaching social studies. So, you know, that keeps me busy. Hands down, any power would be flight and fast because, you know, I feel the need for speed. And where I'm going, I don't need roads. Over to you, Jonesy.
Hi, everybody. I am Jonesy. You can find me here on Netherwar playing Mortis, the living dead guy. Other than that, you can also find me here on Tuesday nights, where I am the GM, where I'm running currently Born of Rage. As far as powers, I don't know. Maybe it's just I write a lot of horror stuff, so my first thought is, okay, we have a power, and how does it go horribly wrong? But I guess telekinesis seems kind of safe-ish.
Okay, my turn. I'm Kat. So you might know me from here. I've been here a couple weeks now. And then I'm also here on Wednesday nights for Fallout, which this week is the last week for that, and I'm really sad about that. When I'm not here, you can find me in school or at work. I'm real boring. And as for my power, I'm mad at you, Jonesy, because that was mine. Telekinesis was mine because I just want to like mess with people. Like I would literally just be sitting across the room and just like move something and just watch them sort of freak out about it. I don't have like a noble power that I want. I just want to mess with people. So, other than that, I'll pass it to Andy.
Hi, I'm Andy. You'll find me here for superhero shenanigans. I like playing in all of Alex's superhero games, and he, continues to bring me back. So there's that. I'm also the host of our Story Forge over on YouTube. That is a channel dedicated to kind of a little bit of GM advice, more often than not, character creation for systems that maybe you guys haven't seen before, or maybe you just weren't aware of. So we should be ramping up new episodes of that starting very soon. So if you're at all interested in those, go ahead and head over to our YouTube channel to check out the previous ones we've got and be on the lookout for the new ones. I will be playing Resonant, our resident energy manipulator / jewel caster. And if I could have any superhero power that's out there, yeah, while flight is well and good, I'll take teleportation so I can get there kind of instantaneous. I'll take
fun in that.
I will take Goku's instant transmission over regular teleportation. That way I can travel across the galaxy with no problems.
But you don't get to see anything.
I don't have to see
You're
it.
just there.
It's
Yeah.
about the journey.
Getting there is half the fun.
You never get to
jet
go to
lag.
Carhenge.
I get to get there and see all the things that I wanted to without having to worry about the time that gets there.
That's fair.
Ooh.
That's fair.
That's just and yes, I should answer chat. Yes, I already do have a superpower. I already have a Wolverine healing factor. Thank you, Wicked Ohio girl.
That's handy. I didn't know about that.
It is.
Andy's been holding out on us.
I know.
And for those of you eagle-eyed viewers at home, we do have an extra special guest today. This is Calvin, who is our friend from Fallout and our friend from the Win with Dice channel. Calvin, go ahead and introduce yourself and who you're playing tonight.
Oh, well, hi. I'm Calvin, and like Alex said, I have a channel on YouTube there over there with my friends, mostly talking about, mostly doing a podcast on GM tips, just trying to make the other side of the screen seem a bit more accessible, a bit less obfuscated, a little less mysterious, sort of pulling away that curtain. And we also play Lancer occasionally, which is super duper fun. As for the character I'm playing, should I just introduce that now? Is that going to be a
No, go ahead and
in-game?
introduce yourself now.
Well, I am playing Fletch Beaumont III, also known as Bowman, who was sort of the MVP last session. So I'm really hoping that I can live up to that standard, or at least roll well enough that I can pretend to. The question of the day. So I had my immediate thought was whatever superpower allows me to not have to like sleep so much, so I could just like do stuff all the time. But the answer I kept going back to is probably the worst answer of all, which is just, stealing a thing from mutants and masterminds, just a variable power. Whatever particular power I need at any moment in time. Sort of like Darwin, but instead of using it to survive, I just use it to like not have to lift a finger to do anything that I need to. Like, sure, if I need to get somewhere, then fine, I'll teleport. If I need to reach something, then yeah, I'll just get telekinesis. And I know it's kind of a cheap answer. I know it's the wish for 1,000 wishes of answers. But at the same time, it seems the most practical, so that's what I'm going to go with.
Good deal. And as always, I'm Alex. I am the I'm the guy here who does all kinds of stuff at the Untold Stories Project. I'm on Werewolf. I'm the GM for Fallout. Do all sorts of behind the scenes stuff. And I'm the author of the Titan City Chronicles. That's my book series. There's a couple of books coming out this year I'm really excited about. And as for my answer, I want the ability to refill anything of my choice. So if I'm thirsty, I can refill my cup. If my bank account is empty, I can refill it. If I'm annoyed with a conversation, I can fill the bladder of my enemies and make them leave me alone. All sorts of fun stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Now we know why Alex was on the New Mutants and not the X-Men.
That's true. I have one very specific power. It's very helpful. I save so much money on gas alone. It's so good. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
so last week on Netherwar, our heroes found themselves facing down a mind-controlled Freedom League. Outnumbered and outgunned, things looked dire for our heroes, but through teamwork and clever application of their powers, the heroes prevailed over the might of Bowman and his associates. After clearing the Freedom League's mind, the group loaded up into the Omega hover vehicle and took off. Initially, their plan was to infiltrate Tarvon's stronghold Star Wars style and get the jump on the Fell Sorcerer with the combined might of the PCs and the Freedom League. Once they arrived at the stronghold, however, they found a group of superpowered individuals waiting in ambush. This group introduced themselves as the Furions and said that they didn't have nearly enough soldiers to take out Tarvon. As the skies began to darken and Tarvon moved to intercept them, the group fled. They barely managed to escape without catastrophe and made their way to the planet of Silverwood. Silverwood being the location of the Furions' hideout, Castle Furious. Once they touched down, they met a strange man named Scribner Jones. He explained that he was sent by Tomen the Archivist to bring heroes to aid against the combined might of Tarvon and Una. We rejoin our heroes as they enter the war room of Castle Furious. Also, Jace Kestrel has welcomed me to the Legion of Substitute Heroes. We're here for all those times Superman gets shunted into a weird dimension.
Or is exposed to red kryptonite.
Right. No, I'm not the person to send to deal with that. So you all do come into a portion of this massive continent-spanning tree, as you all mentioned. You see there are a number of people in colorful costumes moving around the compound. They seem to be readying for some kind of assault. And they lead you up into... This tree is so massive that you're able to move through the veins of the tree, sort of the route that water flows from the roots up into the trunk. And you're led into this carved-out room that is in the center of... Well, you're probably very far away from the center of the tree. But this sort of...
continent spanning.
Yeah, the sort of central chamber of the complex of Castle Furious. You see there's this big table that's been carved out of the silver wood that's glittering. There's a couple of holographic displays that appear outside of the surface of the table. There's a few people around. Freedom Eagle does come in and sort of presses a couple buttons on the display and pulls up a number of readings and a number of planetary displays. The gentleman in the tweed suit and the bowler hat does come over, and he kind of looks at you, the gathered player characters. He says, "Yes, somehow I knew you were the ones who Tomen needed me to find. I have a book for you all," and he pulls out a Claremont Academy yearbook from 2009. And he lays it down on the table in front of you, and all of your pictures have been circled with a neon yellow highlighter.
I hated picture day.
Oh, so much for secret identities.
There are no secrets from myself and Tomen.
We're in the terminus. I don't really think it's much of a secret here.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't suspect you're going to run into anyone you know out here in this part of the universe.
I mean, I've got an action figure. I'm pretty well known. I'm just throwing that out there.
Speaking of which, I did have to stop and pick something up on the way.
Centuria perks up a little.
Oh, God.
And he reaches into his satchel and he pulls out the Davy action figure.
That's the one. That's me.
She all pulled out her hands.
Thank you so much for the sub, Jupe. Feel free to give whoever you want an extra hero point. Yes, Tomen was very specific that I had to stop and pick up this thing on the way.
Did he say why?
He has been recalcitrant with his information of late.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, I haven't been able to get into as much touch with him as I would prefer. I think that may be part of why he's asked me to come and find you.
Any more information you could give us?
Well, I believe Mr. Freedom Eagle here has something he would like to discuss before we get into the business of the archive.
Ah, okay.
And Freedom Eagle seems kind of confused as to why Scrivener said that to him. And Freedom Eagle says, "Well, yes, I am. I was going to discuss with the heroes about how they can help us with Tarvon." And he starts cycling through a couple of different things on the hologram. And he pulls up a planet that you all recognize. It's the planet that you traveled to in the Netherworld way back when. The place with the Nightstone prison camp in Nethermore, the capital. Freedom Eagle is going through, and you see on the readouts there is just an immense amount of nether magic flowing from this planet into the terminus. Freedom Eagle explains, this world was caught in the terminus. It was brought here by Omega as part of his consolidation of Una's worlds when she was killed. But this one started pouring nether magic into the terminus. It is, well, it's very close to the Doom Coil at the moment. It was scheduled for destruction, but the magic here has stopped its progress in the drain, so to speak. It's caught in the Suez Canal. He says, we believe, theoretically, that if we could destroy this planet, we could sever the Terminus's connection to the Netherworld, and rob Tarvon of all that extra magical power he's been kicking around.
You can't just destroy that planet.
Yeah, what she said. You can't just destroy a planet.
There's innocent, or at least relatively, people live on that world. We helped them all, 10 years ago. You can't just sacrifice them just to take Tarvon down a peg.
This is about more than one planet, guys. This is about the fate of the multiverse. If Tarvon holds on to Una's magic, there's no telling how powerful he will continue to be. He's already made Omega bow before him. I don't know how much more powerful he can get, but I don't want to find out.
There's got to be another way to take Una's power and away from Tarvon without sacrificing that planet. You don't even know that'll do it.
No, but it is the only world that is producing this energy.
Is it the whole planet that's producing this energy?
It appears to be, yeah.
Well, it's got to be coming off of something. If you can go there and get to the core of it or something. I agree with these guys, as he just kind of like vaguely nods at the assembled Liberty League. I'm not here to destroy a planet or to help do so.
Resonant's going to look over at Mortis. Do you think maybe it's Una's sanctuary that the magic's coming from? I would have thought that would have dissipated when she and Seven fought and she lost.
Well, it could depend on how it's, a whole bunch of reasons why. It could still be a source of power. I mean, it could tap in Eldridge's sanctum. He'd been gone for 10 years. It was still, all the wards are still empowered and everything else was empowered until recently. So
at the very least, it could just be the sanctum. Then if we could shut that off, that would stop the flow of the nether magic.
Daedalus has a very concerned look on his face.
It's on your mind, Daedalus. I recognize that look.
Isn't it like a small look?
No, there's you'll get used to it. There's a difference. Trust me.
We can't destroy a planet. Obviously, that's off the table. It's of the Freedom League's opinion as well as the Liberty League's opinion that there's got to be a better way to do this.
Okay, is that something B-Man would already know, or
maybe,
or is he just being told now that he can't destroy it? No, I was just wondering if I should have already known that.
No, you should know that.
Okay.
No, I mean, the whole Freedom League is.
It's been a long day. Someone punched me in the jaw. I don't remember who.
I was mind controlled there for a second. And Daedalus kind of looks up. He kind of starts pulling a couple of different buttons, moving through a couple of different panels on the hologram. And Freedom Eagle's looking at him like, quit touching my stuff. But Daedalus starts moving a couple of things through, and you see there's some mathematical equations that are filtering through the planet display. And he says, I believe we could probably do some kind of counterspell or something that could sever the connection to the Netherworld all the way, because this planet has traveled across dimensions, effectively. It's moved from the Netherworld to the Terminus. That's not a travel just through space. That's a space and whatever the membrane between dimensions is called that Daedalus knows about and Alex does not. I think I can separate. I think I can sever the connection between the Netherworld and this planet. Freedom Eagle, will you give us the chance to do that? To do this peacefully in a way that doesn't destroy all the lives of the innocent people who live there? And Freedom Eagle kind of mulls it over for a second, and he says, I guess I'll give you all one chance, but if it gets crazy, we're going to have to do something drastic. We can't let the nether magic continue filtering unrepentant through the Terminus. Also, thank you, Wicked Ohio Girl, for the sub. Who do you want to give your extra hero point to tonight?
That I can guess.
Yeah. I wonder who that could be.
Watch it
Obviously,
not.
obviously, Daedalus. I mean, come on.
You mean
It's
Daddy?
obvious. Yes, daddyless.
Daddyless.
Where's Paul?
Wow.
He's running a game somewhere. He's doing awesome. He's doing Paul things. He's probably just talking to himself because that's what I would do if I had his voice.
Resident's kind of looking at Daedalus like, you say it, she's thinking in her head, you say we, and she looks over at Mortis and she looks over at Siren and basically goes, I'm fairly certain in her head, she's going, I'm fairly certain there's only 3 magic users here.
We were just voluntold.
Yep.
And oh, Peeta's
Sorry,
giving her extra
Andy.
hero point
No,
to
see,
Calvin.
Huh.
I knew that was what it was gonna. I knew that was what was gonna happen.
Well, I appreciate
You
that.
all-
Thank you.
It's like you all, think
We
she plays
jinxed it for
favorites.
you, man.
No, you think she plays favorites.
She does. She does.
I mean, I'm hoping that she does.
Just not on the stream.
Yeah. Right.
Daedalus says, I think we have enough magical firepower here to do something to keep this going. And Scrivener says, well, you're going to have to do it without Mortis or Resonant. I'm going to need them with me. Daedalus kind of gets a little harumphy, looks at him and says, what are you talking about?
Side-eye to Resonant.
Yeah, she's giving you the I don't know look. Do you want to elaborate?
Tomen the Archivist was very particular that I had to take a certain group of individuals with me back to the archive to resolve an issue that's going on. It was the people that were highlighted in this book, plus Centuria and Bowman. Daedalus is like, Bowman?
Yeah, last I checked, I don't do a whole lot of that magic stuff. This is all kind of within my wheelhouse, but why me?
Oh, Fletchy, you don't give yourself enough credit. Does he, Davey?
Not at all.
Davey?
You haven't met Davey!
No,
She-
I have
She
not
walks
met.
up and she sticks an Overdrive action figure in your face. This
I
is
was gonna
Davey.
I was gonna ask about your new style, but now I have a more pertinent question. Why does it look like him? As he points to actual over. Yeah, no, I see you. I see you standing there.
That's my action figure.
Oh, well, I recently found out some information about current world Overdrive, so I don't really want to talk about it right now. Because I
Hey,
don't want to make anyone uncomfortable.
I'm officially uncomfortable. What's going on, Centuria? Who-
You already know, Dave.
I do?
How did I ever like you? I'm joking. Well,
Well, I don't know.
on my world, Dave and I were together, and he had an action figure. And so when everyone died, I bonded with
Okay.
this action figure. And he's kept me company forever. And then Daedalus, and she gives a evil glare over to Daedalus, made me leave him on the ship until this very nice man brought him here.
So
I'm just saying I don't know what that thing is, and I don't trust it.
Yeah, no, I do have a couple more questions at this point. Mostly your world and everyone died. Is this a time thing or an alternate universe thing? I just want to know what kind of flavor of sci-fi I'm walking into here.
She's going to shrug and just say, "You were all dead." That's all I know.
That's
We think
not
it's
comforting.
we think it's a
a
little
little
of
bit.
both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. There's a lot of nether magic tied in to Centuria. And based
Right.
on everything she told us, it was a timeline where Seven didn't stop Una 10 years ago.
Well, I know you all are experts on nether magic, which makes this whole splitting up thing a bit more worrying. Does this guy, your boss, as he turns to You hat guy.
Scrivener Jones, at your service.
Okay, Mr. Jones, then. So your boss, he didn't tell you a single thing. He's been vague like that, and you're just okay with it.
I am not okay with it, as a matter of fact. He's usually more forthcoming than this, but he was. And even this message that he relayed with this yearbook, it was not in his usual. It was not in his usual way of providing information. I believe something's wrong with him. I myself have not been able to return to the archive in quite some time. And the curious thing is that hasn't happened in 3.7 billion years. I've been able to get to the archive continuously from anywhere in the multiverse. Anywhere in the omniverse, really.
Not that long.
You don't look a day over 3,021,021?
Resonant.
That is very nice of you to say.
Didn't sound.
Now, there is not really a question of asking Mr. Tomen's decisions. He has requested the presence of these heroes. So whatever you're going to do with the Doom Coil or that planet from the Netherworld, that's going to be a Freedom League issue as far as I'm concerned.
I'll look at Daedalus. I'm sure Siren can work something up, and if Mortis and I can get back quick enough, we can help out.
Daedalus kind of puts his hands on his chin and he says, well, if you are going to the archive and you're going to the source book, it's possible you could even ask Tomen how to put the pieces back together, or, prevent this from becoming a worse issue than it is.
If we get the chance, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of splitting up, but I think it's the best we can do at this time. Myself and the Freedom League will head down to that planet, and we'll begin preparations for the ritual, and we'll start evacuating people if we can. Just in case we can't do anything and we do have to shove it into the Doom Coil, which I would prefer not to.
Right.
Then we should make this as quick as possible, and I'll keep an eye on these guys, make sure we don't lose anyone.
Yes, please do.
Centurio will walk up to Daedalus and put a hand on his cheek and be like, "It'll be okay, Daddy. He has me."
Not comfortable with that, Centurion. We're going to have to send you to Cynthia to talk about boundaries and personal space.
Cynthia loves me. That's fine.
And he kind of looks at all of you and says, "Well, I guess good luck. We'll catch up when we get back."
Yeah.
Okay.
Gemma's gonna turn to Scrivener Jones and say, "You said you couldn't get back to see the archive, so how are we supposed to get to him?"
Well, Tomen would not have sent me to you if you weren't the correct people to get us back. I'm sure you'll come up with something.
I'm gonna look at Mortis and the rest of the group. Did we bring the book? Did we have time to drop it off? Probably not.
What?
Before we came out here with Centuria, we had to stop some villains from infiltrating the Nerian Nexus.
Did anything happen to it? Is it still standing?
It's fine. It's fine. But the Nexus, the Guardian gave us the Alternity Atlas in case we were going to need it.
Well, that is a fascinating book that you've come into possession of. It's been missing from our archive for quite some time.
Oh.
Well,
I guess.
if it was in the Nexus, I'm sure it was supposed to be there.
For just such an occasion. Oh man, I hate fated options.
It was probably
So what
something Tomen lost in the game of cards to Eldritch.
I don't know. 7's pretty good at cards. Regardless, what does this magic book do exactly?
Finds us ways into and out of things, among other things, I think. But if we don't have a way to the archive, the Atlas should be able to provide us one, right?
Are you sure? I don't exactly want to jump into a random portal.
No, I'm not entirely certain. This was all Sevens and Eldritch's stick, not mine. I mean, yes, I dabble in the magic. Well, it's a whole different type of magic than what they were both working with. So,
Well,
I mean, I can't be certain.
And I'm used to traveling through dimensions, but much more singular type of dimensions. Not gallivanting the entire cosmos.
Oh yeah, no, I know all about your box. Well, between the two of you, do you think you can figure out this?
Yeah, I think so.
What are the odds that this weird energy stuff is what's keeping that planet here? Like, what if we just, cross the streams and interrupt the flow, and then the magic stops flowing to Tarvon, and this planet goes back where it belongs, and all's good.
Isn't the bad things happen when you cross the streams?
But they're already crossed. So what if we cross them again? It's like your phone doesn't work and you slam it on the table and it starts working. Like, is that how we can do it? It's like a second strike will make everything better, right?
Overdrive, sponsored by Nokia.
I don't think so. Sure. Let's pull out the Atlas, I suppose, and see what Resonant and Mortis can make out of it. Honestly, I wasn't sure that this was gonna come in handy. So, would you like a expertise magic check, Alex?
I would love one.
Alrighty then. That is a 17 from Resonant.
17 from Resonant. You start flipping through the book, and you are reasonably sure that you would be able to, with the help of the book, open a portal between here and the archive. I think it would take some time, and you'd probably need Mortis's help, but you do think that using this as a map, you would be able to basically resonate everybody where they need to go.
Okay. She'll look at Mortis. I think we can do this.
Yeah, I think so.
So we will use the book as a guide and basically pool our magics together to portal us to the archive.
Excellent. I would like both of you guys to give me an expertise magic check.
Again.
This time with feeling.
That is a 28 for Resonant.
Wow.
That was a 26 for Mortis.
Excellent. So with Mortis's 26 to 8, that's going to turn Resonance magic into a 33. And you guys are able to open that portal between the Silverwood and the archive. Please tell me how the portal looks and how it goes down.
The portal itself is actually gem shaped, so it's cut rather roughly, and it does look as though the edges are what do you want to call it? Not fractured, but kind of. Yes, faceted. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Oh,
so the edges of it look faceted, and that is the gem magic coming through, at least from Resonance point. And I don't know how Mortis wants his to be displayed.
And as Resonance starts opening the portal and basically making the main framework, I start pulling on the artifact in my chest that gives me my powers to reach across between the lands of the living, lands of the dead, and in those facets, you start seeing reflections of different worlds that in the underworld, and like what might be our Centurion's homeworld, and other worlds that have lived and died, and dimensions that have lived and died. Kind of shimmer and kind of do the whole Fortress of Solitude reflecting in the crystals.
Excellent. And at the very, very center of the gem framework, as all these scintillating worlds that have lived and died are sort of fascinating, pulling through, you all are able to see a very thin pinprick of light at the very far end. And you reckon focusing on that point is what will get you where you need to go. Who's going first?
Centurion go first. Centurion and Davy. Go first.
Awesome. Centurion and Davy, you step up into the gem facet. You focus on the pinprick of light at the far end, and you feel your whole body stretch forward, and you sort of go screaming out of everybody else's view. Whoever is holding the atlas, you do see that the book begins to glow, and it's almost sort of tracing a path through the pages with this glowing gold arrow. It's the same gold that Centuria's breastplate is made out of. And you see it sort of pinging and bouncing all over the place until it stops in a location.
Well, I think it worked. Definitely looks like it worked.
Okay then, into the breach.
All right, let's get this over with before this falls apart or something.
Scrivener will tip his bowler hat, and he will go into the portal as well.
Yeah, Bowman will just follow suit.
As when Bowman steps through the portal, Resonant's going to look at Mortis. He doesn't seem to have a high regard for either one of us, does he?
Well, I'm not surprised for me, but yeah.
Well, I guess we'll deal with that when we get to the other side. You want to go first? I'll make sure everything's stable on this end.
Sure. Just, yeah. Don't lose the way. I'll step in.
She's gonna say, "Oh, I can't lose the way. I've got the map." She'll step it. She will pretty much follow right behind him, but she's just making sure that his light starts moving before she steps through.
It does start moving.
Okay.
Everybody's light is a different color, lining up with your costume.
Yeah. So exactly what color is Resonance?
Whatever color the spacesuit is.
Oh.
That's a Daedalus spacesuit, Alex. So what color is a Daedalus spacesuit?
Bronze.
All right.
It's a Greco-Roman spacesuit. You have a head fin and everything. Why does Daedalus put these on everything?
It makes it so hard to walk through low doors.
But imagine how aerodynamic you are.
Not at all.
Very aerodynamic in space where there's so much air to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, do we all end up like in the same location?
You do.
Okay, so when Bowman comes through, I want Centuria to walk up to him and be like, okay, so like, I noticed you were a little weird about Davy, and I'm sorry I didn't like use your action figure. This one just called to me, you know, like me and Dave had something special going on. I don't want you to hurt because I didn't use a Bowman action figure.
Well, I am a little bothered by that, but I wouldn't say hurt.
I mean, I still love you as, you know, like a friend, but
Which I appreciate.
I don't want you to feel hurt. He's just all that I have.
If there's something here I feel hurt by, it's definitely not you. As far as I can tell, this is the first time I'm meeting this version of you.
Yeah, I guess this is the first time I'm meeting this version of you. That's so
That
weird.
is, of course, if this is the alternate universe thing and not the timeline thing. I still honestly can't tell.
I think it's the alternate universe.
Oh, well then it's nice to meet you.
That's when Dave comes screeching out of the portal.
Really though, that guy?
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, but right now, he's dating some girl named Tracy, so apparently not in this universe.
At Alex.
Sorry. It was Davey.
Sure it was. Sure it was. Wow.
Yeah, that's real awkward. I don't know how people in our line of work date people who aren't in it.
Yeah,
But
I
I
know.
guess
Like,
the other way is it can end bad as well.
yeah. The first time I saw him, I literally like hugged him and all this stuff. I didn't even know he had a girlfriend. Now I'm embarrassed.
If I know anything about speedsters, it's really easy for them to move on from things. I'm pretty sure he's already forgotten. By which I mean he's probably forgotten that embarrassing moment, not about the look, don't go chasing after something that you can't grab, okay?
That's when Mortis and Resident
90s called Calvin.
Just don't go chasing.
Oh man, more like Salt Man.
Bowman's here to hurt everybody's feelings.
He already forgot about you, bruh.
He's trying to be nice.
Barry Allen is not pleased. Somebody's like, I don't know, Iris. I don't know who put that rumor out there. I think it was Ollie.
Okay.
So you all come hurtling into this general space, and you find yourselves. The first thing you notice is the smell of musty old books. It's sort of a warm welcome feeling for those of us who haven't been in a bookstore in a while. Looking around, you find yourself standing almost in like the Disney Hercules version of the cloudy Mount Olympus. Everything seems to be built of these beautiful ornate columns. There's clouds everywhere that are solid enough for you to walk on. There are books flying from shelf to shelf. However, that's when you start noticing the weirdness of this place. The skies have been blackened and distorted, and Resonant and Mortis, you are able to sense nether magic permeating almost everything. You see ahead of you, there is a 3-foot-tall man dressed in a golden robe with a frock of crazy wild white hair, chasing after 10 to 20 6-inch versions of himself. And I will share a picture of this guy.
Oh boy, I really hope this isn't the guy we're supposed to meet.
And you see he's sort of trying to scoop up little versions of himself, and he grabs a couple of them and he shoves them into his chest, and he gets a couple inches taller every time he shoves one in. But a group of them break off and escape into the stacks.
And looking over at Scrivener Jones, the Archivist.
Or Dungeon Master.
That is the Archivist, but he's usually a lot taller than that. And when he hears Scrivener's voice, he kind of turns around. He's got a wild look in his eye. He says, "Oh, good. Scrivener, you got my message. These are the heroes I asked you to retrieve, correct?" And he comes up to you. He's still only like 3 feet tall, so he comes up to your waist. And he looks up at you, and he sort of points Overdrive in the chest.
Hey, watch it, bud.
Yes, you're Overdrive. Yes.
Yeah.
And,
I got an action figure and everything. It's amazing.
well, it's from another dimension, but sure, you could take credit for it, I suppose.
Look, Shorty.
What about the rest of
To
you?
take this?
And he looks over. He says, "Oh yes, Mortis, the dead man, and Resonant from the Fondi, and Centuria from that terrible, terrible dimension. Yes. And Bowman. Yes. Okay, good. Scrivener, you got my message, and you got everybody I needed.
Needed for what exactly?
Needed to deal with the Nether incursion on my plane. My
That's
archive
what
is
we were-
protected against Omega and the Annihilists, but Nether, this Una character, her magic is not from the same place as the Annihilists.
But Una is dead, right? Why would her magic still be infecting this area?
Her magic is everywhere. She was a master mage, and the only way to deal with a master mage is with additional master mages, which is why I needed all of you.
Yeah, they're. Well, I mean, if you wanted the Master Mage from our Earth, you're about a decade too late.
No. There are enough master mages here to help with my problem. I don't need the one from Earth.
Bowman's gonna look at Centuria and be like, "Hey, you're not magic in your dimension, are you?"
Maybe, might be.
She is the master mage of the Terminus. And he comes over and he pokes her on the chest. At least that Terminus, not our Terminus.
Pokes me?
Yep.
I'm getting a headache.
Centuria. Centuria just is like staring at him and she's like, "Why are you so small?"
Centuria, you can't just ask people why they're small.
I was fractured. I was broken into a bunch of little pieces. And some of them escaped into the archive with very powerful books. I can't get the source book until I have reassembled myself, and that's what I need your help with, mages.
I'm a mage,
Mages?
not a master mage.
Yes, you are. You're the master mage of Lefandi.
I literally can't do any magic though.
Being a master mage is not about doing magic. It's about being a master mage.
Mage is literally in the title.
As somebody who usually gets caught up on semantics, I agree with you. It is a little vague, but
Magic, depending on where it's from or the source, can take different displays. It doesn't have to be all glowing bolts and telekinetic movements.
yes. What Resonance said.
So you're saying that we're all master mages?
Oh, except for
Or-
Bowman.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I could use an arrow as a wand. What do you mean they're all Master Mages?
They're all master mages. I don't know how to say that any more clearly.
I feel like that can be a bit clearer, particularly the why and the how parts of it.
Well, if you want to know the how of it, you'll have to ask the book once I get access to it again. But it's just the truth. It's what they are. Each of them. Each of them was
that's-
infused with the energy of a master mage upon her death. 2 master mages, actually. These might be some of the most powerful master mages who have ever lived.
Oh, well. Aren't we all lucky?
Looking over at Resonant.
It's like, oh, that explains a few things, I guess.
Are we sure that we can trust this man who's literally in pieces all around us?
Of course you can trust me.
This is the only place in the terminus that isn't trying to kill us, so I'll take that as a good sign.
Yet.
I suppose.
I don't know. Castle Grayskull is kind of nice.
I won't tell Freedom Eagle that's what you called Castle Furious, but
This is the man who sounds like with the Bowman, right up there with He-Man and the rest of them. Just
I would-
say.
Some reason I was thinking Man at Arms.
I can't even.
no, that's Odd Man.
No.
I'll be here all week.
Okay, so how do we help? You called for us. Obviously, you think we can do something.
Yes, you must retrieve those little buggers and the books that they stole. You have to bring them all back to me so I can reincorporate myself.
Okay.
Just have to catch them.
Yes, they've gone to 3 different parts of the archive and they have taken dangerous books with them.
Okay, more magic books. Are they getting any sort of power from this book? What can we expect from these? I don't know, these doll-sized versions of you.
Well, they are. The books that they stole do have the ability to warp reality around them. They are either very powerful or very popular books, and they have the ability in the archive to change your perception of reality.
Okay, so we go chase down some action figures that have some magic books. Magic stuff, great.
You're in Netherwar, son. What did you think was going to happen? Never mind.
Honestly,
You don't know about that.
It's good. It's just summer crossover event. Deal with it.
The publisher set it down for me.
Yeah,
why
where's
I'm
my
here.
street level crime? What's all this magic stuff?
Right?
You're here to be the moral center of the group. I don't know what to tell you, no powers guy.
Oh, you do not want me to do that for this group.
More like moral off-center.
Right now, definitely. So Bowman's just gonna say, okay, well, can you at least point us in the direction of these things? We kind of have another half of our team who's in the middle of a dangerous mission, so I don't want to leave them unstrung, as it were.
Ah, you got jokes. Okay. All right,
Yeah, it's
arrow
my
guy.
coping mechanism.
That's what coping.
And he says, think to the books. Look to the books. It's like the page master. And he sort of looks around, and he indicates the ceiling that has now appeared over the archive. There was not a ceiling when you first came here. There's this beautiful watercolor painting that goes down 3 different aisles of the archive. He says that way. Any of those hallways will take you where you want to go.
Start to the left.
That's what I was going to say.
Great minds.
Okay. Do you need any help with the other action figures in here right now, or are you good with that?
Nah, I'll get Scribner to help me with that.
Okay.
Fletch, stop trying to get out of traveling with us. You're coming.
Yeah. No. Cool. More magic portals, my favorite.
I don't think they're portals. I think this is just one really big library. So, unless you're using portals as a colloquialism for normal doors.
I mean, I use portals for everything. Everything magic, at least.
Gotcha. All right.
Fireball's a portal if you're brave enough.
So let's head down the left path.
Awesome. He kind of looks after you and he says, "Have fun storming the castle," and you all go.
Oh, he didn't.
You all go having a good time, heading down the left hallway. As you're making your way through this left turn pass of the archive, the bookshelves start to stretch and extend, and you start to notice between the books on the shelf, you're starting to see star fields on either end, and you start to feel the cold vacuum of space around you as you're making your way forward. And as you're moving faster down the hallway, you see the star field is starting to expand like light speed, and eventually the books all dissipate away from all of you, and you find yourself standing in a laboratory of some sort. Looking around, you're in this sort of sanitized chrome room, in the center of which is a like a glass case of white lab mice. Right beside you, there are several lab coats with clipboards posted on the wall next to you. You see there's one lab coat for each of you. And the lab mice that are in the center of the room, they're all together, and you see there are a number of things set up on stations around them. You see very small, mouse-sized electrode helmets. You find a couple of pills. You find a few syringes, a few other things down in there. And you don't see any little Tomens.
Is it possible to get like a sense of what the purpose of the well, I guess the lab is for mouse experiments. Can I get a sense of what the mouse experiments are for with a technology check to study the equipment, or is that going to
Sure.
be...
Yeah, go ahead and give me a technology check.
Cool, my first roll. Stats and skills. Not bad. 20 total.
So with a 20 on your technology check, as you're examining the little mouse-sized lab experiments, you see the little helmets. As you're sort of going through, you're recognizing a couple of the technological pieces from your fights with supervillains. You think these may be some kind of telepathic or mind-modifying helmet. You think that may be the basis of this experiment. You do see there is a label on the pill bottle that you're sort of going through, and it says personality amplifier. And the syringe, as you're sort of examining it, you see there's a number of small moving silver particles in the liquid of the syringe.
Silver particles in the syringe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I don't know what they do.
You do not.
They do science.
Oh no. Science and magic. Bad combination.
As you do come into the room, though, do you put on a lab coat?
Yes.
Not yet, at least. No, I don't think he's gonna immediately do that.
Centuria already has one on, so. Is there a little one for Davy?
There is a little one for Davy. It's in the pocket of the
That's-
Centuria one.
Oh no.
Yes.
Freaky. I can't.
Well, now
take
he's definitely not gonna put one on.
Like a little Ken doll one.
You don't think it's a little weird that there are coats that are exact size, even one for your pal there?
it. It's magic, Bowman. That's how it works. You just gotta
You
go
did-
with it.
He did
Oh,
say
I'm gonna be hearing that all day, aren't I?
Yep.
the archivist did say this was going to mess with our perceptions of reality.
And Davy deserves a lab coat if we all get one.
Right, okay. Well, I'll get a coat if I feel cold or if I want to participate in these experiments, but right now I'm more concerned with where our target is.
Centuria, and anybody near Centuria, I would like you to roll a perception check for me.
How near is near?
In the same room's fine. All of you can roll it for me.
I guess that's
22.
20.
17 for Mortis.
17 for Overdrive.
25 for Bowman.
So, everyone, looks like everybody passes. You all notice that little Davy's lab coat does have a name tag on it.
Does it say Davy? What does it say?
It does not. It says the name Magic These.
It says
What is it?
what?
Magic These?
I shared it in the chat. Magic These.
Oh, not a Mixoplick name.
And Bowman, you notice on the far wall from where the mice are sitting, there's a small seam that looks like it has some sort of secret compartment, and underneath there is written the words "Deep Thought."
Jack Candy.
Like, so a seam, you said?
Yep,
Like in the wall?
in the wall. Yes.
Okay, like as if there's something on the other side of it or some loose panel or something?
Either that or a
Or-
secret compartment, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everyone to stand back. I think I see something over here. Just give me a second and get ready. I don't know what's gonna be in here. It could be something harmless. It could be, magic. Or it could be a couple of mice. One's really smart, the other's insane. And I'm gonna use an arrow to pry open that seam.
Awesome. So you come over, you start prying it open. It switches down, and you see a computer in there. And as it pops up, you do see the phrase "Deep Thought" scrolls across its screen.
Is there
Looks
a
like
password?
that's cycling as a screensaver.
Okay, I'm just gonna try to there's like a keyboard or something I can interact with?
There's a keyboard.
Okay, well I'm just gonna press buttons and see if I can start this computer.
Yeah, when you do that, it says "Begin experiment."
Does it have details on the experiment? Or is it just like a big red button?
It just says "Begin experiment."
Oh boy.
Man. See, because Calvin wants to press the button, but Bowman's probably not gonna just go pressing buttons.
Centurion wants you to press the button.
Okay, everyone, I've got a thing here that says begin experiment. Don't know if I want to go setting this off just yet. Is there anything else in this room?
There is not.
Before I don't know, immolate us or something? Okay.
Just
Are
go
you?
ahead and press it. What else are we gonna do?
Do you want to get a coat first, Bowman?
Yeah.
Do you think the
You'll
room
become
expects
part
the
of these.
scientists to have the coats on?
Yes.
Yeah, do you want to be a lab rat?
Of course, it's magic. They're supposed to do a bunch of crazy stuff and put on. And he's just like muttering as he puts the coat on. He's got to cover up his sweet guns. All right, so everyone, I guess get a coat on, and I'll press the button.
Okay.
All right.
What do the other coats have? Labels on them? Names on them?
Only one other does, and it happens to be the coat that Bowman's putting on.
What does it say?
It says Vroomfondel.
Broomfondel?
Room.
Room.
Vroomfondel.
What's in the chat?
Oh, there it is. Okay, I didn't see it. Vroom. Oh, maybe this is supposed to be yours. As he looks at the speedster.
Sure.
Room.
All right. Get ready. I don't know what's going to happen, but here we go.
Okay.
I guess as the names appear after the coats are put on.
Oh, do more names appear before I press this button and do my soul?
Just these two names. Magic
And
Thieves and
myself.
Vroomfondel. One on Davey, one on Bowman.
That is a weird. All right, here comes some doom. I'm gonna press the button.
Awesome. You press the button, and the lab mice in the container opens, and they begin to spill out into the room. And it looks like they are heading over to the various objects that are laid out for the mice. The little electrode helmet, the pills, and the syringe.
Okay, I'm just gonna if I'm in any of their way, I'm gonna like move out of the way and just let them do what they're doing.
Yeah, you see they just head over to those spots, and they all turn in unison and look at you all expectantly. And the computer behind you says, "Enter results."
If this is a science lab, are we supposed to observe and report?
I would think so, but we have to. It seems like they want us to interact with them somehow.
Can
there-
I? Go ahead.
Are there any dead mice in the area?
There are no
Any
dead
ghosts? Okay. Ghost mice.
Can I make an insight check to kind of glean what the mice are looking for?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I crit, so it's a 35.
So Resonant, you're sort of examining these lab mice with your 35. And the mice, as you're looking at them, they seem to have a deeper level of intelligence than just mice would suggest. You think that they are observing you. And you think that they are waiting to see if you are going to do anything with the objects that they're standing next to.
Give you a hint, Resident. They're the scientists. We're the experiment.
Uh-huh.
But we put the lab coats on. I thought that was one of the. I hate magic so much.
So Resident will take a look at the syringe and see if it has any magical properties to it.
Sure. Go ahead and give me just a general perception check.
Okay. It's a 22 on the perception check.
Does not seem to have any magical properties. It seems like it's technological in nature.
Okay. So with
some of them
Resident's
do
vision-
come closer to you when you pick up the syringe, though.
I'm nowhere near sure what the heck this is, but it doesn't have any magical properties to it.
You notice that
Centurion.
the rabbits begin to the mice begin to queue up in front of you, Resonant.
You up.
Like they're waiting for me to inject them.
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
This is so freaky.
I will. It's like. Can I tell how much I'm supposed to give them? Like, how big is the syringe? How many mLs are in it?
That is an excellent question. There are 15 mLs in the syringe, and there are 15 mice in front of you.
So that would basically mean 1 ml per mouse. So Resonant will she'll kind of look back at the group and say, I think they're waiting for me to give them a shot.
Go for it.
That's
So
about right.
I will administer the syringe to each mouse, being very careful to only give each one of them 1 ml.
Awesome. So yeah, you inject the first one with the 1 milliliter, and it kind of like leans up and it presents its chest for you to stab. As
Ooh,
you
it's
stab
creepy.
in, you feel something prick your chest when you stab the mouse. You feel
Okay.
something inject in you,
Hmm.
and the mouth smiles at you, and it goes to the back of the line.
Hmm.
And the
Okay.
next one steps forward to get injected.
You all right there?
No, I felt that. I don't think I'm supposed to feel it.
Oh.
What are the other items?
There are little mouse-sized electrode helmets, and there are several small mouse-sized pills. The pills are labeled Personality Amplifier.
Um,
Resident, are you wearing a lab coat?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you want to keep going, or? I mean, we have to do something here. If you want to keep going, I can take over.
Mm. No, I'll do it.
ooh, let me try something actually. I'm gonna have Davey do it. Like I'm controlling Davey, but I'm gonna do it.
This is actually way better. I didn't really want to do it.
Let me try that. Let me see. Are you okay with that, Davey?
Yeah, I love science.
Right.
It's so
I'm gonna
good
do
they
it.
built me with injection action.
I was gonna move the hand like a Barbie doll.
Phrasing.
So
Apparently,
Centuria,
we're not doing phrasing.
wow. Centuria, you take Davey and you inject one of the lab mice since he's wearing his little lab coat. Who knew that this episode was going to be Centuria playing with her dolls? You hear Davey say "ow" when he stabs the first one.
I'm gonna turn around wide-eyed to the group and be like, it hurt him. I'm sorry, Davy.
Yeah, but that plastic seems pretty tough, so I'm pretty sure he can take it.
I can take it.
Resident will keep an eye on the mice that have now gone to the back of the queue, just to make sure that they don't skip ahead and get another injection. Because why would they get back in line?
Good choice.
Are you sure, Davy?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, let me know if it's too much, and they'll continue to give the injections to the rest.
Awesome. Yeah, he does say "ow" each time as he injects the mice. The ones in the back of the line do not go forward as the line moves forward, but they do sort of start to cluster in a group after each of them gets their injection. Okay. And as the 15th one gets its shot, something fun would have happened, but now it's happening to Davy.
Uh-oh.
So he run. Davy's like, I feel pretty good now.
Oh. Like, good how?
I don't know, like, vibrating.
I'm a real boy now.
She'll turn to the
I
group
hope
and
not.
say, he feels vibrating.
Vibrating?
And
that...
Centuria, as you're looking at him, he is an action figure who has survived the apocalypse. So there are some parts of him where the paint is worn a little bit, where there's some scuff marks and things like that. He regenerates to mint condition.
Is he still in his box then?
He does not grow a box, but he does.
Man.
His paint goes back to normal, and he looks like he is back in prime condition.
Oh my gosh. She'll show Davy to the others. Look at this.
Huh.
Well, that's an interesting effect.
Well, if that was what the syringe did, I don't really know that I want to try the helmet.
Well, we need to mark our findings in the computer, right, Bowman?
That's what the computer said. Is there just like a big old text box I can type in?
Yeah, you could start typing in what happens if you want.
Okay. Syringe made an action figure vibrate.
After 14 of 15 shots.
And as you enter that in, Bowman, as you go through and you hit enter, the computer lights up green for a second and says, please record additional information.
Okay, I think it worked. Let's keep doing these experiments. If any of them seem harmful, we can just get Davy, the toughest one of us all, to handle that.
Okay.
I don't. The Davy can't take or swallow pills though, Bowman.
Well, the pills are mouse-sized, so I'm assuming if there's some sort of reciprocated effect, it'll affect the person who is giving the mice the pills. Which, of course, if necessary, will be Davy.
Bowman out here ready to straight sacrifice Davy.
I mean, there's only two people here who technically aren't living, so... And one's more useful than the other.
Rude.
A little bit, yeah.
Alright, who wants to try the helmet? Or do you just want Davy to do it?
It only fits on Davy.
Yeah, but I'm assuming you're putting them on the mice.
Sure. Yeah, because I had to give the mice the injections, so...
You guys don't want me to try it because I'm stronger than all of you.
Let me try the helmets real fast to see if plugging them in basically at the same time has any effect. So I will super speed through and put the helmets on the mice.
Awesome. So you put the helmets on really fast, and you instantly feel your head sort of light up like a Christmas tree. And
It's nah. It's a
You
bad idea.
begin to gain knowledge of things that are, things that were, and things that might be. And your intelligence goes up by a point. Your intellect goes up by a point.
Huh.
Indubitably. Sorry, I guess that was a big jump for 1 point, but
It's exponential. You're twice as smart as you were before.
oh, that's right. I forgot that.
It's Eminem.
SMS mine's double your pleasure. Yeah.
2 times 0 is still 0, though, Dave.
Oh!
Oh.
Ouch. Man.
That's what I was waiting for.
But each of the mice, they all sort of put their heads to their hands, and they look up at you, and they take the helmets off, they put them down, and they go over off into a group, and you think, Dave, you think they're all chattering with each other about what just happened.
Those mice are talking to each other.
And when you say that, they all look at you like, shh.
Mice understand that I said they were talking to each other. Most disturbing.
And the computer says, record results.
Okay, I'll put that in.
What happened?
To do the pills.
I became aware of things I'm not sure how I became aware of them.
Inception makes sense now.
Also, Dave, if you don't have this advantage yet, you do gain the eidetic memory advantage.
Should I be permanently marking these down, or is this
Yeah,
just an
you should be
effect?
permanently marking these down.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Oh no, what did Davey get?
Oh.
Davey got 2
Oh.
ranks of regeneration.
Man. That's fine. Alright, who wants to give
He's gonna live
pills
forever.
to the mice? No one? Okay.
Bowman
I
still
guess,
doesn't want to touch these things.
I guess Centuria will give the pills to the mice.
Awesome.
Do we want Centuria doing that? It's
I
supposed
mean,
to amplify your emotions.
It is a
personality.
personality amplifier. So,
I mean,
Centuria, you already
y'all.
you have a pretty big personality, but I mean, if you feel safe doing it,
if you guys don't want me to do it, I don't have to do it.
I'll do it.
You sure?
I was attempting with the mice and the shots, but we had Davey do that, and I'm just trying to look out for everybody else at this point. So,
okay, well, good. Keep doing that. All right, do the experiment. I'll write things down.
right. So, yeah, so Resonant
In a
will
day.
Resonant will give the mice the pills.
Awesome. So you start feeding pills to the mice, the rabbits again. They're rabbits again. The mice,
Where do these rabbits come from?
and you. This is like us all over again. Where did these rabbits come from? So you start feeding the pills to the mice, and each one, you do get sort of this euphoric feeling that flows over you, Resonant, as you feed one to each of the mice in the line. As you get to the end of it, they all sort of smile at you and they lay back almost like they're stoned. And you gain a +1 to your presence and a +2 to the interaction skill of your choice. So either
Nice.
deception, persuasion, or intimidation.
Okay.
We made them smart and got them stoned. Quick, give them some papers so they can figure out advanced physics.
And the computer flares up again. Record results. Record results.
Let's see what I
Resonant, Resonant's gonna kind of turn around, and when she looks at everybody in the group, she looks a lot happier. Kind of like that kind of carefree attitude that she sort of had back 10 years ago when Seven was still alive, and she was a little bit just having a good time with everybody. That kind of sense is what's kind of emanating from Resonant. She's like, wow, I've forgotten what being happy like this it felt like.
Ooh,
Missed it.
I like this Resonant.
Wicked Ohio girl would dream to hydrate.
Woohoo! Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Hydrate before you dehydrate, guys.
Hydrate comes in a little plastic bottle.
Oh no.
Not to be confused with hydrant.
Okay. So basically she'll give them, with that, she's giving them the information to put into the computer.
Okay. Pills made resident happy.
Maybe you should have taken them, Bowman.
What do you mean?
You've been a grump the whole time you've been here.
Look, I just don't like being off Earth too long. Stuff happens down there that I can't fix.
Yeah, trust me. I know what can happen to Earth. I've been there.
Exactly. So, you know.
And you were there that time, and you still lost. So.
Yeah. Hey, random question. Was I, like, the second last one to go, or...
No, you died first.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Always.
Okay, well, if that other me had the same kind of mindset, he lost a few bets.
So, as you input the last of the results to the computer, you see all the mice begin to gather in a cluster together. And the computer cycles through the answers. You see it pulls up the little apple spinning beach ball of death thing. And the computer says, "Thank you for your participation. Now we have the answer to the ultimate question to life, the universe, and everything."
42.
It spits out a piece of paper that says 42 on it. And all of the mice turn from mice into little Tomen the Archivist. And you see in the center of them, they have a copy of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And each of them presents it to you. They sort of, as a group, march over to you and they present it to you. And they present themselves to be captured.
Grab the cage from the center where all the mice were in and just kind of open it up for all the Tomen totems.
Yep, they will all march happily, some of them stoned, into the little mouse trap. And you all have found the first book, and you have found the first batch of Tomen mini-me's.
Tomen minions.
Well, that was easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, how dangerous could the next book be? It's just the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Awesome. So, as our heroes begin to head off to check on the next book, I think this is a good place to take our first break.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Please go ahead and stretch, get a snack, get some water, look at the ads on our carousel, and we will see you very soon.